Good morning, gamers! Welcome. Hello. My name's Mikey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the morning news. Everyone. I hope you're all doing well. What time do you call this? I was making a coffee, okay? Don't shout at me, everyone. Don't shout at me. Hello. Okay, welcome. I need someone to test Twitch for me. I'm currently live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Yo, I'm multi-streaming on twitch.tv/Hellstorm. Hellstorm Mikey. I am drinking some coffee. Yeah, I am. I need someone to double check my Twitch chat, see if this is going to work or not. Is that going to work? Nope. God damn it. Didn't have time to brush the hair. Bro, I've just got out of the shower. What do you mean? That's my style now. It looks cool. It's bedhead look. Would you prefer this? You know? Prefer this? Is that what you want? Smart and professional in the morning. I'm on Twitch, but there's ads. There shouldn't be. Not when you log on anyway. There'll be one ad every 20 minutes. But that's just so you don't have to, like, pre-rolls. Good morning, Chris's pen. Oh, my chat's working. Let's go. Oh, that's so sick. Jay, thank you for the gifted, dude. Thank you for the gifted. We're trying to hit 10 members on both platforms every day, which would be very cool. But yeah, so look, I have a joint chat now, so you can see like here, if I zoom in, look, we got Chris's pen from Twitch, and we got YouTube as well. That's sick. That's so sick, actually. Let me quickly update on Twitch. Let me pin my message there. Thank you everyone over on Twitch for watching. Really appreciate you. My name's Mikey. I'm live every single day. I haven't streamed on this platform since yesterday, for about 4 years. Make sure that works. That works too. Oh, I've actually smashed it. Oh, let's go. So now if you're on Twitch, you can talk to people on YouTube because you can see it. Chat, do I bring it up on screen? Because I could. Because I could do this. And I can do this. Okay, the text isn't quite the right size yet. Okay, I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it looks, actually. Yo! Captain Kayari, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the Prime. Chat, don't forget, if you watch it on Twitch, or if you are watching on YouTube, you can go over to Twitch and use your Twitch Prime. Yeah, I can't read that. Okay, I'll fix it for next time. Tomorrow, we'll have joint chat on screen. It looks way nicer when it's just YouTube because it's like cleaner. But Twitch, I need to like add a thing because it doesn't. Basically, I've got to add filters because if I don't have them, it looks like this, and you can't read that either. If I just have stroke, can't read it. If I just have shadow, can't read it. If I have both, too much. Jay, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. So welcome. This is Wednesday. I am live every day. It's currently day 4. I'm doing all right. I was 1 minute late this morning because I was making my little coffee. Okay. And Wednesday, we stream every single Wednesday at 10 o'clock because we have the morning news, which is a segment I like to go over, where we talk about the things that are happening in the tabletop gaming industry, things that I'm interested in. We laugh at AI. We have a great time. Okay. And we've got a lot of news to talk about, and I'm afraid I'm going to be talking about me a lot today. Okay. Let me put YouTube chat back on. I'll try and fix the other chat for tomorrow. What did we do to deserve this? Deserve what? Deserve what, bro? Deserve what? Bleach it fully, you look like Bojo Spawn. I am upset that you said that. He's going for Crest to look like a chicken. Yeah. Yeah, we've also got some new Thousand Suns rules to go over later. Okay, we've got Thousand Suns rules to go over probably around 12. So we'll do the morning news, and then hopefully when the morning news ends, we will have the rules to go over. But thank you, Coasty Duck, for the Prime. Thank you for the Prime, Coasty. We're almost at a hype train on Twitch. If you want to continue it, you want to give some subs and stuff like that, that'd be really cool. But I'm trying out live streaming every single day, and I'm also trying out multi-streaming every single day as well. So I'm going to be live every day on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Okay, so if you don't like one platform, you can watch on the other, and everyone's happy. And I get Prime, so that's great. Let me catch up with the rest of the chat. What do we deserve? Daily streams, bro. If you don't want to watch the daily streams, that's fine. But guess what? I'm streaming it anyway. All right. Morning, Martin. How are you? Don't tell me what to do. Well, guess what I just did. Congrats to you enjoying the engagement. Took you long enough. I did take my time. I did definitely take my time. That's for sure. That's for sure. Lord Nice, thanks for the follow, dude. Thank you. Thank you. What do you mean? What's with the hair? Right. Okay. All right. This is what I normally do before I start stream. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm just here to abuse you on 2 platforms. Great. It's very funny that we all apparently all just have different names on Twitch versus YouTube. They're all very similar though. You know, Lord Nige is Nige. Coasty Duck is obviously Brennan Duck. J2192. Not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. You look like a wild raccoon. Well, guess what, Adrat? I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm holding it back, okay? I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm keeping my mouth shut. Who am I? I have no idea, considering both your names are bang next to each other. But yeah, so we got some news to talk about, because I'm in the news again. I'm in the news again, chat. How did Gifted to change your style? Chat, look, I'll be honest with you. I have the lowest amount of subs ever. Members on YouTube. I have the lowest amount of members ever. So I'm going to have to say 500. Just to get back where I was. Just to get back where I was. Where's the dunce cap? That's in the game. We might play that again later. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I might. If not, I'll play it tomorrow. If not tomorrow. Am I in the Spanish news? No, I'm in the English news this time. Raziel, who could I be? You've even got the same fucking set of characters. Yo, unknown pessimist. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. PCYUMW. Are you trying to cover up your hair now you're 30? Bro, my hairline's fucking beautiful. Look at this hairline, bro. Look at this hairline. It's beautiful. Beautiful hairline. No, I've just changed my hair, guys. You know? Thing is, you guys see me nearly every day. So as soon as I do something, you're like, yo, what's going on? It's like, you just don't like change. Also, you won't know who I am on YouTube. But I remember you from Twitch. So all those hairdryers he uses to heat his house. I do that. I do that, actually. Why does everyone stop talking about my hair? I've got texts about it. I'm getting texts about my hair, bro. Dan, thanks for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, bud. So welcome everyone on Twitch and YouTube. Again, my name's Mikey. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have the morning news to go over today, which is where we go over the interesting things that are happening in the community, things that I've seen that are interesting, things that are weird and wonderful around the world. Okay. Henny, some moves, pal. Thanks. Okay. He wasn't lying. He really is live every December. I am live every December. I wasn't lying. This is day 4. You know? Everyone else? Cringe. Me? Built different. Dear Wag! Thank you for the 7 months on Twitch, dude. Thank you for the 7 months. Thank you for the Prime. There you go. Have my Prime. Thank you. Just to let you know, every day you don't use a Twitch Prime, you're giving 12 pence to Jeff Bezos, who literally, if he stopped to pick up 12 pence, he would lose money. That's what you're doing. Okay. Thoughts on the detachment so far, and what are you expecting from Thousand Suns today? I think this should work as well, because I can do this on Twitch and YouTube, maybe. Let's try it. Let's find out. Does this work? Okay, it's so small. Oh, it's because I've made my screen bigger. Look at that. Nailed it. Nailed it. Thoughts on the detachment so far, and what are you expecting from Thousand Suns today? Assuming you haven't seen it like some streamers. I haven't seen any of the rules early. I'm seeing them at the same time as you are at 12. Which is fine. Honestly fine. You know, I was like a bit annoyed about it, but now I'm a bit like, as long as they keep coming out at the same time, I don't care. As long as I know when I can go live, that is fine. That was my main concern. But yeah, the detachment so far, they are definitely breathing new life into units you would never use. Like the first detachment, suddenly everyone's going out and thinking, well, maybe I could buy some ATVs and some Black Knights, you know? 1 or 2 ATVs, and I could suddenly use that for Lion's Blade detachment. Unknown Pessimist, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the prime, dude. Appreciate you. We're almost at 20 members or 20 subs on Twitch. That's cool. So yeah, chat. What? Wait, I'll finish my thought. I was just wondering, what if we had a members versus Twitch sub goal on screen? What if I used members today, Twitch subs today, and there was a battle between them? Just putting the idea out there. Okay. So yeah, so it's breathing new life into units that you don't use. Like you've seen, we saw the first day, everyone's like, oh my god, 30 Blight Lords? And like last week, people, if you said Blight Lord, like 1, people are like, waste of points. What, just the 1? Just the 1 Blight Lord? Waste of points. You know? And then obviously we had the Dark Angel one. Suddenly you started thinking about a few Raven Wing units, like some bikes that you just never see. And then the one after that, Tyranids, Warriors, suddenly very interesting. Suddenly you're like, maybe a couple of squads of Warriors in a list would be quite cool. Which is nice, which I think what detachments should do. What they shouldn't do is just be like, right, how do we play the army, but then play the army better? It should be, how do we make units that we don't see better? So then people have options and it makes more units in the codex more viable. Because that's how that's the best way to achieve internal balance, is to be like, yo, these units are really shit. Here's a cool detachment to make them really good. You know, the issue with that is bloat, right? Is a bit of bloat. But just saying it, just putting it out there, it is bloat, because all they're going to do is keep adding rules to fix things. You know, loads of changes, loads of new detachments, loads of new stratagems to think about. However, the benefit of that, the silver lining of bloat, is the fact that you have different ways to run your armies. So I'm putting it out there today. As I said, I've not seen the detachments yet. But I'm going to put my money on a Zangor detachment today, because that's what they don't. Or maybe a Scarab Occult Terminator one, but that would literally be, of the 4 we've seen, 3 of them can access Terminators, and they all got better. If it's a Scarab Occult Terminator detachment, or something that makes Scarab Occult better today, that would be quite fun. But that would be literally 3 of 4 are all just make Terminators better. Because the other army doesn't have Terminators. But I'm putting my money on, if I was a betting man, if I had £10 to spare, which I don't, because I've only had 1 member, I would put my money on it being a Zangor detachment today. You know, whether people like that or not, I don't know. I don't really care. It's just my concern. I'm reading chat. My thought is, I'm reading a text. What do you mean? Am I okay? What do you mean? Are you okay? Blink twice on stream if you need help. Because of my hair? Shut up. Love you, mine. I'm gonna put my money on. It's gonna be something that Thousand Suns don't really use very much, and Thousand Suns pretty much use only Dusty Rubric Marines at the minute. So it's going to be Zangor more likely, or they could surprise us and go a Scarab Occult detachment. But if it's just like a generic one, that'd be really cool. But I'm just like, that's what I think. The NID one made Warriors into as close to Terminators as they dared. T5, 5+, no deep strike. So we're 100% for Termies. It's 1 4 against the wild. Return to 7th edition detachment blow. We've all missed it and lying to ourselves if we haven't. Yeah, true. True! But chat, I will say, I have been busy. I've been a little busy. I'm just going to say it. I'm not a meta chaser, okay? I'm not. I just want to make it clear. Just want to make it super clear. Not a meta chaser, okay? I want everyone to say it in chat. Mikey's not a meta chaser. Come on, chat. Say it. Say it with me now. Mikey's not a meta chaser. Mikey's not a meta chaser. You know what else I was doing last night? Do you know what I was doing last night, chat? After I built fucking 15 Blight Lords? I was like, I'm not a meta chaser. Don't be silly. I found them on the shelf. Am I a Dark Angel player, actually? Actually, am I a Dark Angel player, baby? Stop it! Stop saying Mikey's a meta chaser. I said not a meta chaser. Yo, look, I'm just building the models that I've been meaning to build for a while that been sat in a box. You know? As Arhane said, I have the pile of potential. Mikey built 32. Jokes aside, posted this on Discord and said, don't have any warriors to build, so I'm building yesterday's meta. How do you do Deathwing colour schemes to Blood Ravens? Jokes aside, I'm going to paint these Deathwing Knights bone with red helmets. Rather than doing like red with bone helmets like I would a normal Terminator, paint them as bone, because then they're just veterans. Maybe a red helmet, maybe like a red helmet with a black stripe. So yeah, I'm going to paint them bone, just like Deathwing. Because I thought that'd be also really easy to do. But yeah, look at that. I've scratched all the shield. I've scratched all the swords off, ready. I've got some Japanese products to try out on these models, which is mostly why I was building them. But I was just like, you know what, chat? It's actually kind of nice to go into my, like, go into, like, my hobby room or, like, my model storage and, like, dig out models that I would just never build. I'm not meta chasing because, you know me, I fucking only play Space Marines. I mean, they are Space Marines, to be fair. So, like, the Blight Lords, I'm just like, well, Tom bought me those Blight Lords the first year I went full-time. So, like, 3 years ago. And the Lord of Virulence as well. Oh, no. Did he buy the... He bought me 3 Death Shroud and 10 Blight Lords. The first year I went full-time, because he was like, we need to add to the Death Guard army. I was like, you know what? That's so kind, mate. Thank you. And, yeah, that was 3 years ago. So I finally built them. I built the Death Shroud 2 weeks ago because I actually sent the Death Shroud to get painted by my friend George. I'll show you a little preview, a little baby preview. I should be getting them back this weekend, and then he's taking the Blight Lords. Simple yet effective paint job. It's actually pretty nice. It's pretty clean. Oops. As you can see, he's painting the Death Guard heroes for me, which is cool. If you have a box of every unit laying around, you aren't meta chasing. So yes, if I go and buy some Turning Warriors, I'm meta chasing. However, if I already have them, does it count? Does it count as meta chasing if you already have them? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say nah. I'm going to say nah, bro. I like how you can chase the meta until it becomes a Xenos army. If it's Necrons, then I can, but that otherwise, yeah. Because I'm literally just, I just fucking love Marines. I just love Marines, bro. So yeah, so he's painting up these. These are from the Kill Team box, so I should have these to play with soon as well, which is cool. He's painting up 3 Death Shroud for me, and then he's also painting up my Blight Lords. So one day, if I one day I'll have all the Terminators for Death Guard I need, because Death Guard is one of my largest armies, actually. Ironically, it's really because it's the easiest to paint. It's one of the easiest to paint, I think. So yeah, so I like chat saying, I just want to highlight some really important messages. I think if you have every box lying around, you aren't meta chasing. You know what, Grimslayer? I totally agree. You know, there's actually some based people in chat. You know, like Lone Wolf thing. I think you get away with it if you already have them. I agree. I agree. Not like this. If it waddles like a meta chaser and it quacks like a meta chaser. Listen. I always root for you, chat. You come into my chat, you say hi, you're really nice to me. I'm rooting for you. Anything you want in life, I'm like, yeah, get it, king. But I'll remember this message, Duck. I'll remember this message. And then when you're like, oh, man, I lost my last game, I'm going to be like, well, shouldn't have been a message. You bought a new army, I lost with it. I'll be like, well, fucking unlucky. Unlucky. I'm waiting for your downfall. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for your downfall. How are those specials working out for you, right, listen. Time to talk about the news, all right? My cats really like the Space Wolves because they fucking sit on a shelf and do nothing. I'm waiting for your downfall as well, Jace. You're in my book, all right? If I was a Fire Slayers player, which I won't be unless they're really good. If I was a Fire Slayer player, I would have you in my little book. My little book of grudges. You know? My little book of grudges. Out of interest, how long does it take you to restack your pile of shame in meta order when they release updates? At the minute, awful. At the minute, awful. Look, I bought it on impulse and it was cheap. That's what you do, chat. You don't meta chase. You don't meta chase. What you do is you buy cheap armies and then sell the shit you don't need. You know? What's the bet in the Custodian detachment is what's the bet in the Custodian detachment is jetbike themed as now they're crap? Probably like 90%. Hoard until it becomes meta. That's literally me. Literally me. Speaking of Lambo, I need my shit back. Everyone spam Lambo. Give Mikey's shit back. I need my Space Marines back because they're gonna get a cracked detachment. Obviously. And I need my Votan back because they're going to get a cracked detachment as well. Wait, we're supposed to sell models we don't need? Yeah, that's how you buy the impulse, buy the other stuff. Accumulate to speculate. Yeah, that's literally me. That's literally me, chap. Right, okay, we got some news to talk about. Chat, you might have seen my video yesterday. All right? You might have seen my video yesterday as I posted on the bluest skies. The bluest skies in social media, that's what we call it. About Vallejo products. I've been speaking about Vallejo products quite a lot because they are currently striking. With, you know, stop buying Vallejo products because they're on strike. As the union has said, they've said if you don't want to buy products, people are calling me out and saying they're not calling for a boycott. And I'm like, I'm just doing what the union said, bro. I'm pointing out what the union said. So if you didn't know, they're on strike, so avoid buying Vallejo products for now. However, I've been in multiple articles. Well, I've been in an article. I don't know why I said multiple articles. I have now been in multiple articles, but I have been in one more article, which is this one in Spanish. Talking about Warhammer influencers commenting on the strikes, you know. Englishman Hellstormwargaming says, I'm not buying Vallejo paint, okay? That is like an example. We spoke about that the other day. That was in my video yesterday as well. And guess what? I'm in the news again. I'm in the news again. Bro, where is it? Have I skipped it? That was weird. That's not got any of my retweets. Bro, I'm in the news again. I'm literally a journalist. I'm on the ground. Boots on the ground. I'm in the Polygon, kinda. So you might have heard of Polygon, a large English-speaking website that promotes like games and tabletop games and stuff like that. They commented on the strikes. They published an article. Rowan published an article. Okay, got a cool picture from the striking. We translated that. It says Vallejo and Pro A, the owners of the company, exploit workers. Just saying. They're talking about like what's happened. And guess what? According to a statement by the CGT given to YouTuber Hellstormwargaming. I'm a source. I'm a source in a news article. I'm not just Englishman shouts at cloud. I'm a source for the article. Without me, without my journalism, they couldn't write this article. I'm a journalist. I'm literally a journalist now. I'm literally a journalist. I'm a professional. I'm saucy. I'm so saucy. It says, according to a statement by the CGT given to YouTuber Hellstormwargaming, workers at the Catalonia factory currently make around Spanish minimum wage. Earlier this year, the Spanish Council of Ministers raised the country's minimum wage to just 37 euros a day. You need a fedora with that little journalism slip in the now. I do. I actually do. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny, bro. I'm a journalist. I'm literally a journalist now. Sit down, everyone. Sit down, everyone. I'm the journalist here. Oh, that's a better sound. I can actually see chat. 37 a day is insane. That's true. Becoming more like Ludwig every day. Literally professional journalist, you know? By that logic, being a witness to a crime makes you a detective. Now that makes you a witness. What does this make me? A source of an article. I don't think you wearing a fedora will do you any good. Well, people might stop complaining about my hair. But yeah, so anyway, chat, they only get paid, they get paid just shy of 38 euros a day. Roughly 50% increase on the minimum wage in 2018. So before they got paid 20 euros a day. Representatives of the CGT claim executive pay continues to grow with increased profits. How funny. Information sources are equal journalists. Look, who wants to get banned from chat first? All right. Jamartin, I'll let you off. You remember. So, bam. Love ya. Don't fucking discredit me like that. I'm waiting for your downfall. I'm waiting. Workers are also... We know all this. A lot of it does go over a lot of the stuff we know. Do you know why? Because they're using my video to write the article. What is that, like Monopoly money or something? Yeah, it's like, what, less than $40? How much is that in pounds? Let's find out. I just realized I got my emails up. Yikes. I don't need any of this open. Why is all this open? I realize I haven't prepared my computer today. There we go. Plagiarism. It's not plagiarism because I'm cited as a source because I'm a journalist. Because I did the journalism. You can say I'm just a citation, but I did the journalism. I'm literally a journalist, needs to go on this shirt. Chat, get on it. Get on it. For Christmas, I want a shirt that says I'm literally a journalist. He did reach out to the union to find out more, so that counts as journalism. I did the bare minimum. I'm a journalist. Write that down, chat. Write that down. That's journalism. That's definition journalism. No other article has messaged them. Classic Polygon. Just cited other journalism hitting publish. That's hilarious, but yeah. But yeah, these are all just all these quotes are from my DMs because I bothered to message them. I'm literally a journalist and also throw a space marine on to make it actual jam. Like a space marine with a fedora. A space marine with a fedora. You know? Like fucking LA Noir shit. Chat. LA Noir Space Marine that says I'm literally a journalist. Beast. Beast mode. Beast mode. We need it. Chat, someone get on it. Designers, on it. Come on. I'll split the profits with you. Let's go. But then I'll donate it all. But yeah, this quote from my DMs. There's actually this is from my DMs. This is all from my statement that I acquired as a journalist. This is from my journalism. Okay. So all of this article, this is a recap. All of the new information from me, I'm the journalist. He's never going to let this go, is he? No. Why would I? Why would I let it go? I'm on my peak of my career. I'm literally a journalist. Anyway. Jack, come on, this is funny. This is just funny now. No, Daddy won't. Bro. You can put journalism on your CV and get a job, get to work. That's true. That's true. That is true. Right, we've got some Warhammer download news, but not new Thousand Suns yet. Okay, we've got some download news, we've got some Elon Musk news, and then we'll time that perfectly for when the new Thousand Suns will drop. You love a music contingent being a member? I thought the relationship went deeper than that. Not online, bro. Don't want you're not in the parasocial gang. I've got to convince people that I only like them when they're in parasocial. To get more people to subscribe to parasocial. You gotta put it on all your bios. You know what? Literally, yeah. You know what? I do need to update my Twitter bio. Tabletop 3D commentary king. Tabletop and 3D printing journalist. Commentary king. Literally. Oh, I can't fit literally a journalist. I can get rid of join small war gang because that's an old meme. Literally a journalist. That's me, chat. I'm literally a journalist. So you're asking someone who's currently on €0 a day currently to give you an additional €25? Yeah, because without that, I'm on €0 a day. I can't wait for my kids to get the highest award in journalism. Yeah, sending DMs on Twitter. Sending DMs on Twitter. Journalism. Does parasocial mean you're contractually obliged to like them? Actually, no. There is no contract. Is Jamarty picking a fight with me today? Why is he tweeting at me saying cringe? Jamarty, why are you tweeting at me saying cringe to saying I'm going live every day in December? Huh? Own up. Twitch equal cringe? Nah, Twitch goated. But that's the fun thing. If you don't like watching me on YouTube, you can watch me on Twitch. If you don't like watching me on Twitch, you can watch me on YouTube. It makes no difference to you. The only difference it is sometimes I'll be reading the chat that you don't see a message, but you'll see it on screen. Or I'll read it out. He's doing better on Twitch subs than YouTube members. That's also true. That's also true. I am doing way better on Twitch for members today than YouTube, which is kind of funny because I have 5 viewers there. I think I'll stick to YouTube in case you play WAM on Twitch. I won't be playing WAM on Twitch. I'm still playing WAM again and I'm on good. I made it to December last year and then me and Georgie fell out when Christmas Eve, sorry. But yeah, you can all see that I'm doing worse on YouTube at the minute. So I'm having to do Twitch as well to see if it works, you know? To see if it works. Yo, Brennan! Thank you for the 5 gifted, dude. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much, dude. That's really generous. Thank you, man. Dude, that's really kind. Thank you. Honestly, that means the world. That means the world, dude. Thank you. Honestly, like, gifted memberships are insane. Twitch subs, Twitch primes are really cool. I'll be honest as well, it was kind of annoying me because on Twitch, there's like a minimum payout and I have like £45 and the minimum payout was 60. I think I've got over now, but they owe me 50 quid. So I was like, you know what? Let's rake some prime subs so I can get paid out. But yeah, it's literally free to subscribe on Twitch if you got Amazon Prime. So you can subscribe over there. You don't get ads either. And but yeah, thank you so much for the memberships, Brennan. Really appreciate it. That's really kind of you, mate. Right, let's talk about Schrodinger's datasheet, shall we? Is it or isn't it? That's the question. All right. What am I talking about? We've obviously had 3 new detachments, but we also got a bonus of Lieutenant Titus. £60 Twitch payout will buy you 1 box of meta unit of your choice. Yeah, it's going to buy me 1 box of Tyranny Warriors or a Zango box today. Lieutenant Titus has a new datasheet, as you can see. You know, hasn't it? Wait a minute. They've ruined my story. They've ruined my whole ass story, bro. Never mind. Awesome gunplay guns, also true. Lieutenant Titus has a data sheet, and now this whole story is going to fall over because they've changed it. But it was funny. Anyway. Lieutenant Titus has a data sheet. I think he's on, like, limited sale this weekend, I think. Nick posted about it, didn't you? Was it you who posted about it, Nick, yesterday, about getting a voucher or something? Someone posted it. Who posted about the voucher? Is it new releases? Aha! It says here from Nick. This Saturday, Lieutenant Titus is available as a commemorative series miniature here and at Warhammer stores around the world. To celebrate his launch, everyone that purchases one will receive a free £10 gift voucher to use after Christmas. So don't miss out, as numbers are limited. We will, as usual, limit sales one customer until noon on Saturday, so everyone can get here, get a chance to get one. So if you haven't got a Titus, now's the time to buy one. But I don't know how long he's going to be available for, because he says he's got limited numbers. Failed journalist, shut up. Shut up. So yeah, so Titus has got a new data sheet. He's fine. He's a lieutenant. He's gonna feel no pain, which is kind of nice. He gives out sustain 1. I think this is instead of lethal or normal lieutenant. Let me just double check. Let me double check. 1 second. Lieutenant. It's just called lieutenant now, right? Yeah, so tactical precision is lethal, and then it lets you fall back and shoot and charge. So instead of fall back, shoot and charge, he's got fight on death, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. You can't complain at it, to be honest. Is it more like 25 quid? Probably. So yeah, you get £10 back. If you're going to buy one, now's the time to buy one. If you don't want one, don't buy one for a tenner, obviously. You may as well give yourself a tenner. Right now, I owe you £10. He's got heavy bolt pistol as normal. He's got a pretty good melee profile. Start his chainsaw. It's only 1 damage, but it's got anti-infantry 2+, 8 attacks, strength 4 -1 1 damage. Obviously, you're probably just going to take like a fucking plasma pistol and a power fist, obviously. But he's kind of nice. He's better if you want a guy with a chainsaw. He is arguably better. How many points difference is he? He's 5 points more. You're paying 5 points to lose, fall back and charge. Or fall back and shoot to gain fight on death. He's pretty fun. What can he lead, though? He can currently lead Intercessors, Blade Guard, Hellblasters, Defender Squad, Intercessor Squad, and Stern Guard. Because he's a leader as well. So, he's fun. If you've got one, it's nice to have some rules for him. The reason I wanted to bring him up mostly was because, right, he was listed in other rules, as you can see, like Vespid Stingwings. But when you clicked on the website, it says Promo Legend Space Marines Lieutenant Titus, which I don't think anyone could outright say, oh shit. Yes, it is actually, you know. Sending DMs on Twitter is journalism. I just want to let you know that because I'm a journalist. Journalistic integrity is very important to me. So yeah, so it actually said promo legends in the website, which is quite funny. I thought that was quite interesting. But then, as you can see today, which is why I said it ruined the story, is they've changed it to other rules. So I wonder if this was planning to be promo, or if it just maybe like a communication error, because a lot of the characters that come out that are like commemorative are legends, like the Orc character and stuff. He's designed to absolutely chew through 1 wound, 5 up save chap. Yeah, big time. He will chew the fuck out when it comes to tuned gods. He will chew gaunts like nothing. But yeah, I think it's just like a habit to go into Legends. So I think it must have been like a communication error. The sorority that came out recently was Legends. People are mad salty about it. Yeah, the what's her name? She's a really cool model as well. I've already put commemorative. Not Palos. She's like white armor, right? With the sword. That one. That one's commemorative, right? It's such a sick model, that one. I just know this model will sell like hotcakes. Oh, big time. Big time. There's that one. There was the Orc. I can't remember any of the names. That one that went to Legends straight away. What's this fucking shitty website? Yo, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it, Hungry Bird. Hungry Bird. What's he called? Ulftak Blackhawk. He went straight to Legends as well. Really cool model. Should probably just be a data sheet. I don't understand why they're like... I don't understand why they're not just like... You made it in plastic now. You know? You made it in plastic. Just fucking sell it. You know? That's what I don't get. I know the whole point is... I think it's just FOMO that they're trying to use. What was the other one? There was another one, wasn't there? There's a few. There's a few. It's just frustrating. Because they could be great. So they've done it with Titus. But obviously that's because of Space Marine 2. If it was just a book, I don't think they'd bother. But thank you for the Prime, dude. We're almost at 20 members on Twitch. Holy fuck. Or 20 subs, even. That's so sick. That's so sick. Thank you, man. Thank you. I think it should be a named version of existing data sheets. I think, yeah, like, you don't have to make it like a fucking special character every time, but you could be, at least, you could be like, yo, this model can now take a gun that you can actually take. You know? Calling his subs members and his members subs never change. Yeah, it's a lot to track. It's a lot to track. I'll get used to it. I've been doing it for... This is the second time I've done it, to be fair. I'm trying to work out if Warhammer is the best category, because Warhammer category on Twitch is so dead now. Because they added a new one called Models and Miniatures. Is it /Warhammer? Oh, that's the channel. That's the channel.
The measurement to make sure it was a legal move, and also in a critical moment.
But look, there's like hardly, I'm there. There's me. There's a few channels, but it's dead. You know what I mean? But if you go to miniatures and models now, because it's a new one that people are advocating for, because obviously not everybody paints Warhammer. There's like loads, a bunch, like twice as many channels. You know? Weird. Weird. Anyway. Yo, Andy. How you doing, bud? I think they want to avoid character bloat that previous editions had. Yeah, maybe. But even if you're just adding, like, even adding them as just like an option so you can take the guy with a gun, you know, would be nice. And again, because it's in plastic, it just makes sense to sell them, but I don't know. And like, yeah, you can get over it and use Legend data sheets, but we had the conversation here before of people like to play competitive and so many discourage Legends entirely for no reason. That's true. That's true. Yo, Andy, thank you for the gifted. Thanks for the gifted sub, dude. We made 20. Let's go. Let's go. That's so sick. Thank you, bud. Thank you. Maybe we do have 2 counters. Twitch subs, YouTube members. Maybe we start wars. That always works. So yeah, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting that, like, yeah, like, I think there'd been, like, a clearly communication error. So obviously they've fixed it now. It's a shame because I wanted to talk about it today. Nori, Castellan, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, like, it's interesting that they updated it. It's nice that Titus is going to have, like, a solid data sheet. Whether that'll continue, I don't know. Hopefully, sorry, whether it remain on the shelf. That's what I was trying to say, sorry. Whether that will continue, I don't know. Yo, Nori, thank you for the Prime. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hello there. How you doing? Thanks for the Prime, bud. Thanks for the Prime. My only problem with this joint chat, it doesn't tell me if it's a prime or a sub. It just says subscribed. This is fine. But... Yo, Jay! Thank you for the 35 months on Twitch, dude. 35 months. I've only been streaming on Twitch for 2 days. Thank you for the 35 months. You just next month, by January, you'll be on 3 years. That's cool. 2022. You've been subscribed since. Thank you, mate. So this is what I'm reading, chat. This is what I see. I'm thinking about adding this to the stream. You have to let me know though, because like I can see it and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to stream on both. Is it like, does it actually like change your viewing experience at all, or is it just like Mikey's reading the chat I've not seen? You know, because some people are like, because I've read up, there's a lot of talk about multi-streaming as a thing now, as a concept. It's like very popular, which is why I wanted to try it out. It's a lot of people like sometimes they have like one chat completely off and then they have the other one on. You know, and then they only read that one. But I'm a bit like, and some people are like, oh, well, you're replying to chats that we can't see. Like, I'm going to have it on stream tomorrow, I think. I think I'll have the joint chat here instead of just YouTube. The only difference it is like, sometimes I reply to a message you might not see, but I'm a bit like, if the chat was busy, you wouldn't see it anyway, you know? Twitch you can minimize on the phone, well better. Well, yeah, I have YouTube Premium, so I can minimize on the phone, but like Twitch, you can do it for free. So, but yeah, I'm just a bit like, you know, it makes financial difference, obviously, but like as like a stream setup, except for reading 2 chats that are mixed together, it doesn't make much of a difference in terms of like how I'm making the content. The content's the same, so you can just like watch on the platform you prefer, and then maybe one will grow. You know, that's kind of like what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking I'll stream every day on Twitch for a month and I'll like analyze whether I'm going to continue or not. But I'm a bit like, if I stream every day on Twitch and then I've got like 1 viewer at the end of it, maybe it's not worth it. But if I stream every day and I've got like 30 viewers, you know, maybe I'm like, okay, maybe continue. You know, I need to multi-stream on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. You know what? Jokes aside, I have been thinking about vertical streaming on TikTok at the same time. It's not something I've not considered, you know? But that's where I'll just like need other people to manage the chat, because I can't like moderate a live chat that's like on a fucking For You page. Chat, you know what? Just to like tangent, I don't think I realised just how bad a union has been demonized in America until I read the comments on my YouTube video. Sounds like a job for the parisexuals. Making a non-legend model. So he's a canonical character that appears in the codex love. Yeah, I think that's why they did it, right? Because of the fact is, he's big in the game, and the big game's really popular. Happy to mod for you, Mikey. I'm on other channels. Appreciate it. I'll definitely consider it. I think I'm alright, like, managing YouTube and Twitch right now. And obviously, I got YouTube mods, which are really helpful. It was like TikTok chats, which would have been a pain in the ass. Unions are mostly a UK thing. I don't think that's true. Because I was reading up about the CGT yesterday, and they're from like the 1850 or something. That's so much stupid. They're very old. They're a very old union. But yeah, I was just reading it. I just had a chat through now. And it's like, as a right winger, and we know the right wing is the Workers' Party. Like, have you ever been more wrong in one comment? Let me scroll down again. Have you ever been more wrong in a comment, right? Union's been big here. Our country's just swinging right real hard. You know, Duck, I don't think, and again, it's still weird that I call you Duck. I don't think it's like an America problem. But like, I don't think, like, America are swinging to the right very hard. But you'll notice in every country, not just America exclusively, that is just like the big one because they're leaning so far right. Every country is flipping really hard, really quickly. like even like the UK, we've had like a conservative government for like 14 years, flipped hard to Labour, you know, completely the other way. You know, Japan just had an election, they flipped the other way. Every country, it feels like, is like flipping parties because a lot of people are like fed up with the like rising inflation, post-COVID bubbles and stuff like that. And every government, everyone who's having an election is just going bam and flipping the other way because people are just like fed up, but they're not realizing why. But I was just reading this, I was just like, can't I, as a right winger, and we know the right wing is the Workers' Party, which is hilarious. I support workers, can't support Blue Sky users though, I presume. Damn it. Billy and Vallejo agrees on world, please sell a single good, big hobby related company from Spain that's ethical. Chat, I need help with this one. If they negotiate with / cave to a trade union, then yes, I'll stop buying their products. Damn it. What a shame. That's my go-to brand for 20 years. I agree. Shame. As intelligent as Boxer Rock. Who's this to? Ammo. Ammo, are they Spanish? Are ethical and Spanish. According to Arhen. Arhen from chat. There we go. Just join Blue Sky. What some good recommendations follows in the 40k realm. So the nice thing about Blue Sky is it has a feature called lists. I'll see if I can find one. It has a feature called lists, which are like big follow groups, which is really cool. You can actually follow or block all at once, which is really cool. Now, there's an account I follow from over from Twitter called the Real Iron Hand. I think they're called the Real Iron. They're definitely called the Real Iron Hand. Did I spell it wrong? Let me look through my follows. I follow 69 people, so you should just follow all of them. To be honest, they're really good. They're one of the first people I follow because what they do is they set up lists of like follows to like get you going. They're like just Real Iron Hand, not the. I put together a basic, so you've left Hobby Twitter starter pack for new joiners to Blue Sky who may feel a bit lost. It's not exhaustive, but should be enough to get complete beginner started. So if you like, so this is like a list of people, basically, who are like Warhammer related, which is really cool. So like you can basically go through and have a look and pick and choose who you like, or you can just do follow all, and also you can do I can't remember which one it is. I think if you click follow all, it like gives you the option to block all. But I'll share this in the chat now. Nothing wrong with going to the right at all, except they literally hate you and they will stamp you into the ground and take every penny you can. And also the people who are probably more left-wing are likely to use your tax dollars to help other people rather than using it for tax cuts for large companies. But that's just me. That just seems like the logical thing to do. But like, tell me about the insanity you're referring to. Please do. Please do. I can't wait to hear it. But yeah, just like I was reading this and so many comments were just like, oh, damn them trade unions demanding. They want a 15% wage increase in line with increasing turnover. That's not how it happens, because they would take a large wage. Because would they take a wage decrease if turnover dipped? No, if turnover dipped, they'd just sack them. Are you stupid? They're more likely to get infrastructure investment if the company makes more money. They made $4 million in profit. The least they can do is help out the worker and fix the building, and then they can apologize by giving a pay rise. What happens is if they make more money, they should promote or help or give bonus or pay rise the people who actually make the product they sell. Okay, if they don't sell the product, they don't take a wage decrease, they make you redundant. Are you stupid? Are you actually dumb in the head? Downvote. But anyway, it just made me realize so many people Blue Skies are rotting sewage. They just got brain rot. Working conditions shouldn't be allowed to profit. True. That's the basic. Gitly. Every abusive jackass that missed being able to lie and suppress everyone else is handling their Block list for everyone, so I just put lol. Damn it. It's just fucking, how can you sit there and go, oh, unions are bad, when all they're doing is fighting for the rights of the workers? What, returning profits to the working class? Marx enters the channel. Yeah, literally. Call me Marxist. It's not Marxist to think that the people who work for your company that make the product should be rewarded for it. There's a lot of political naivety around at the moment. Yeah, literally. Here in the States, the insanity being the handling of the border lack of support for American citizens, especially North Carolina after a hurricane. It's crazy as can be. The handling of the border, the lack of support. You know, it came out the other day that most governments use immigration as a weapon to mishandle funds. A look after and happy workforce increases productivity and therefore more profits. I agree. Did you see the Oxford Dictionary word of the year this year is brain rot? Yeah, I did. It was very funny. Very, very funny. Yeah, the Oxford word of the year, if you didn't know, Oxford word of the year 2024 is what everyone has in this chat when they start talking about unions. Oxford word of the year, baby. Brain rot. Supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state. Could say that about a fucking couple of you in chat, could I? Especially viewed as a result of overconsumption of material, now particularly online content, considered to be trivial or unchallenging. Also something characterized as likely to lead to such deterioration. Technically, that's two words, not one. Shut up, it's a phrase. After 37,000 votes, this is funny. Bro, it's the Oxford Dictionary. Shut up. Stop correcting me. Actually, that's two words. The Oxford Dictionary decided, not me. After over 37,000 votes, worldwide public discussion and analysis of our language data, we have named brain rot as our word of the year of 2024. Our experts noticed that brain rot gained new prominence this year as a term used to capture concerns about the impact of consuming excessive amounts of low-quality online content, like Twitter. Especially on social media, like X, the everything brain rot app. The term increased usage frequency by 230% this year. The first recorded use of brain rot was found in 1854 in Henry David Thoreau's book Walden, but has taken on new significance as an expression of the digital age. Literally. That's funny. That's funny. I want to read the fucking quote of that book. Casper, president of Oxford Languages. Looking back at Oxford Word of the Year over the past 2 decades, you can see society's growing preoccupation with how virtual lives are evolving, the way internet culture is permeating so much of who we are and what we talk about. Last year's winning word, Riz, was an interesting example of how language is increasingly formed, shaped and shared with online communities. Brain rot speaks to one of the perceived dangers of virtual life. And how we are using our free time. It feels like a rightful next chapter in the cultural conversation about humanity and technology. It's not surprising that so many voters embraced the term, endorsing it as our choice of the year. So there you go. Why is it just repeating itself? That's weird. I guess it's easier to read, right? Walden was a book about touching grass too, which is even funnier. Brain rot comes from that book. That is quite funny. Word of the year is always hilarious. Here in Germany, people vote for the youth slang word of the year, and it's always a huge happening when the German BBC counterpart announces in all seriousness the nominated word. Oh, there's a fucking clip I saw, speaking of Chris Hansen. This is Chris Hansen talking to someone who likes children, but the nonce way. I don't know if I'll get banned for saying it.
That maybe you didn't learn from your 4 years in federal prison.
Didn't learn what?
to not be a predator.
I don't really care how many times you hear it.
You should.
I'm saying I did not see that part of the text.
Help me to understand why you would risk it again and come here tonight.
I can't just go out and meet people. I don't have game, whatever.
You don't have Riz.
Never would I thought to see the day of Chris Hansen asking a paedophile if he has Riz. If he has win of the year last 2023. Never would I have thought to see Chris Hansen ask if they have Riz. Anyway, I thought it was quite funny. I saw that this morning on a video. What is Riz, Jim Martin? You asking that question explains so much. What is Riz? Bro, he's winning the year last year, dude. Come on, catch up. Like Brennan says, it's charisma. That's the whole point of it. Riz is charisma. That's so funny though. He just went, what's Riz? That's really harsh that I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I do love you. Especially when you join Parasocial. Anyway. Anyway, Elon Musk, everybody. Let's talk about him. Let's really fucking send it. It's like a D&D ability. It's literally. It's charisma. Oh, fucking hell. Our good friends over at Wargamer.com wrote a fun article about a tweet I saw last week. So rather than coming up with my own ideas, I'm going to tell you to go to Wargamer.com and read all their articles because they're really cool. Especially this one, which is kind of funny. It's called Elon Musk, honey, if you don't like D&D, make your own. You have the cash. And his Riz is my dump stat. Explains a lot. Last week on Twitter, Elon Musk was calling Dungeons & Dragons woke. So said he's considering buying it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who create Dungeons & Dragons. What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? May they burn in hell. How much is Hasbro? Fuck, man. Imagine if someone like me had as much money as that bloke has. Think of the good of the world that could be done. You know? But no, we have an egotistical lunatic with all of the money instead. Anyway, let me give the full article. This is about the fact that Elon, as I like to call him, just doesn't actually know anything. All he knows is how to buy. Just like PayPal. Buy and steal. Just like his fucking emerald mines in South Africa. X.com owner Elon Musk has expressed an interest in purchasing Hasbro, the corporate owner of Wizards of the Coast, and ultimately the Dungeons & Dragons license, with an estimated personal worth of $323 billion, which is much lower now because of the fact he wasted it all on Twitter, which is hilarious. Musk could single-handedly fund the establishment of a dozen RPG studios. Surely a red-blooded capitalist would find it much more fulfilling to launch his own bold vision of the tabletop gaming into the market to conquer the current woke version of D&D. Musk's public interest in D&D began on November 22nd, following the discussions on flagging social media. I love that. Fucking Tim. Tim is so great. We love Tim. About the making of the original Dungeons & Dragons, a new book that gives a historical retrospective on the game. Responding to a post complaining about factual sidebars in the book that raised problematic elements of Gary Gygax's personality and writing, Musk stated, "What the fuck is wrong with Hasbro? May they burn in hell." Elmo killing Hasbro and ending D&D and Wizards of the Coast would be a meme, though. It would be quite funny. It would be very funny. Smooth done kind of cartoon of this. Oh, I'll have a look at that afterwards. On November 28th, in response to a post claiming that Wizards of the Coast is now targeting D&D specifically at the woke audience, Musk asked how much is Hasbro. Have you seen he wants to open a fucking he wants to open a AI game studio. Have you seen that? A non-woke AI game studio as well. And then Marty O'Donnell, who did the music for Halo, was like D&D music. I was like, bro, he's opening an AI studio. Are you fucking high? Is it still there? Bro tweets quite a lot. For somebody who only made the Halo music and nothing else in his life, he tweets it loads. Where's his reply? God. Oh, here it is. 2-minute game studios that are owned by massive corporations. XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again. And then his response is D&D music. Bro, Marty O'Donnell, you did one good thing. Now you are so stupid you can't realize that if he's going to make games with AI, you think he's going to not make the music using your music with AI? Are you stupid? Are you actually cracked in the head? Probably. Marty doesn't realize his job is the first one to go. Literally. Literally. If anything's getting replaced, it's the music and the artwork. He's fucking dumb, bro. Are you actually dumb? Fucking hell. Actually cracked in the head. Actually cracked in the head, honestly. Well, the comments, I'll just literally just close it. Let me open it back up again. What are the comments, the replies? I did just close it. Give it a minute. Need music. Absolutely, we need Marty back in mainstream gaming market because obviously it's fucking. He's already said it's going to be AI, and unlike other studios owned by massive companies, this won't be owned by the world's richest man and all these massive companies. Sucking the humanity out of games is not the answer. All this is gross. No, we want AI music. Sorry, Maya, I don't think Elon wants the hassle of paying a great human composer. He'd rather default to some plagiarizing soulless AI. Some of your work might be used to train it, though, with zero credit or payment, smiley face. I'm not going to click that. It's going to be awful. I'm not going to click that. God. It makes me laugh when people go on Twitter, though, and then they go, God, it's so bad over there, isn't it? And I'm just like, imagine walking into a Nazi bar and being like, yeah, there's so many Nazis here. You know? On the topic of music, where's your chill background music? Can you not hear it? I have Tokyo lo-fi vibes. Can you know, was it just too quiet? I haven't played it the entire time. We're 48 minutes in. Maybe it's just a bit too quiet. My apologies. Anyway, Elon, my sweet summer child, you're the richest man on earth. Is this really the limit of your ambition? Why go to the trouble of buying Hasbro, which is trouble with toy business and pesky $8 billion market capitalization, where you can set up your own RPG development studio in the world overnight? You don't even need that much money. The whole of D&D 5th edition system reference document is a Creative Commons. It's never been easier to make your own version of D&D. And if you're actually interested in innovating, which you could just write with AI, which is exactly what we'd expect from the man who's going to take us to Mars, you could come up with a totally original RPG. Itch.io is brimming with them. Is it just easy to co-opt popular culture? Funny that. Than to try and build something original. But Elon, you're renowned among your fans as a radical free thinker. You're not the kind of man who's afraid to compete in the free marketplace of ideas. This is so good. Because people will read this and be like, God, this article's so based. They know everything about Elon. Why, between your business genius and the think tank of innovative game designers, would you, who would no doubt flock to your side, you can easily create a product that would take the public imagination and the games market by storm? Maybe you should tell us what D&D should be like, because so far we only have an idea what it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be woke, got it. But we know you're not a reactionary, you're a forward thinker, an ideas guy. So lay it on us, let us know how you're going to purge all that worry woke and simultaneously ensure D&D is a smash hit. Is it just the original version of D&D? That's already available, babe. People can already play Osric, Old School Essentials, or White Hack. They've been around for years. Do you want more serious combat in a setting which doesn't quibble about violence being heroic? There's Gubat Banwer. The combat rules evolved from D&D 4th edition, while the set is mythic and fantasy inspired by pre-European settlement in Indonesia. Violence is beating heart. Do you want radical libertarian D&D? Then Limit Lamentations Flame Princess is a dark horror variant, basic expert D&D with a single theme. Its products must push back the boundaries of what is conceivable or acceptable in RPGs. I'm not sure you have the guts to see what free speech really looks like, though. There are multiple adventures designed explicitly to screw over your campaign. There's a spell that makes a corpse piss out its liquefied guts onto you, with a realistic illustration of a young woman bathing in a blackened shower. If you're really, really committed to making a game that offends the sensibilities of progressive, you could track down and buy the rights to Fatal, which has rules for calculating... It's a shit game. The problem is these games aren't what the major consumer base driving the hobby game market wants. Aside from D&D, most of the RPG market is split into hundreds of little segments of gamers, all looking for something very specific. D&D is the lingua franca of gaming because it has a first player advantage, a lot of brand recognition, and its politics are too bland to offend anyone except for you. This is a diagnosis, not a commendation. I've argued recently that modern D&D play is too safe for my taste, but that's what the people want. So if you decide to buy Hasbro and decide to pivot D&D to something that you think the silent majority really desires, well, I hope you enjoy it while you have it. I hope it fills that hole. I'm sure Paizo, publisher of D&D's old rival Pathfinder, will be very happy when you made the D&D brand cheap enough for them to buy it. A good hose down and it'll be good as new. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sure you know D&D back to front, but just in case, we have a useful guide to D&D classes, races, etc. This article went off the rails, yeah, a little bit. It's a good article, though. Yeah, we love Tim. Tim's great. He's such a lovely bloke. Such a lovely bloke. Good article. Good article. Now, this is journalism. Chat, if I told you I'm signed up with that Wargaming to be a journalist, what would you say? What would you say? Elon wants Nazi D&D. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that the Nazi wants Nazis? Isn't it crazy the guy with the Nazi bar likes them? Can't wait until he trains the AI on X and the AI comes back with woke attitude. Yeah. It'll be funny. It'll be very funny. It'd be very, very funny. Anyway, chat, we've got a little bit of time to stall now because I don't have many. There's not many news articles because I'm in them all. So you've already seen it. If you watch my videos, you already know the news. So we are kind of just sat waiting for the Thousand Suns thing now. You know, we are just kind of stalling. So if you wanted to ask me anything, now's the time to ask. If you got any interesting things you want to talk about. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh! Blue Sky. Comic. Who posted about the comic? Smooth Dunk. Just checked out that list on Blue Sky. Can't believe you self-nommed. Of course I did. I won't give you a list without me on it. Elon Musk is considering buying Hasbro to secure the rights to D&D. Rule 1. When playing with Sir Elon of Musk, he and he alone shall be permitted to use the epic die. That's quite funny. That's quite funny. Me frantically writing all my does this stack with all his dust jokes. Brilliant, Jordan. Well done, mate. Well done. Do you have any tips for a budding journalist? Send messages on Twitter. And that's it. Don't use Twitter. Because all the journalists are leaving Twitter as well. Everybody's fucking leaving Twitter. So don't you... All the journalists... There's an article about everybody leaving Twitter. Let's have a look. It's like 300,000 journalists. European Federation of Journalists. That was it. 300,000 journalists in 44 countries to stop posting on X. The EFJ represents 300,000 journalists in 44 countries. The European Federation of Journalists has announced that it will stop publishing content on Elon Musk's social media platform X from January 20th, 2025, when Donald Trump will officially become the 47th President of the United States. The organization stated it can no longer ethically participate in a social network that its owner has transformed into a machine of disinformation and propaganda. Does it say an emerald? Yeah, they went hard with that one. It joins the Guide and other European media outlets, including Dagner's Theater, La Vanguardia, Ouest France, and Sud Oost, in coming off the platform due to the impact of Musk on the organisation. The EFJ is the largest organisation of journalists in Europe, representing 300,000 in 44 countries. It will stop posting content on X. The company general secretary stated, after the US elections, EFJ pointed out that the threat to democracy and the freedom of expression posed by the cooperation between the president of the most powerful country in the world, Donald Trump, and the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, who is also the owner of social network X, has been appointed to lead a Department of Government Efficiency when Donald J. Trump takes over office. We cannot continue to participate in the social network feed of a man who proclaims the death of the media and therefore of journalists, says President. The social media site X has become a preferred vector for conspiracy theories, racism, far-right ideas, and misogynistic rhetoric. X is a platform that no longer serves the public interest at all, but the special ideological and financial interests of its own and the political allies, he writes further. The editorial evolution of X since its acquisition by Elon Musk is simply contrary to our humanist values, our commitment to press freedom and media pluralism, and our fight against all forms of hatred and discrimination. The decision to suspend our EFJ Europe account seems clear to us, and we invite all members and all organizations defending freedom of expression to migrate to other platforms. Brother. I don't know, the media are just as bad. I trust nothing. Bro, they're just saying they're not going to be posted on X because it's full of racism. Racism, misogynistic, and propaganda. So, you know what? No, you should always read what you should always take what you read with a pinch of salt. But I think they're being pretty clear. And it's pretty clear to see. Which is why I just fucking hardly use Twitter anymore. When I remember I deleted off my phone on stream, if you remember. That was really good. And then when I went into Japan, I just couldn't use it. I kind of fell off it, you know. And I just started using Blue Sky. It's so much nicer. It's just nicer to use. Hungry Bird based. I agree, mate. I agree. You can't post on X anymore because you're a real journalist. Zapzy, you know what? That's right. I should be part. How do I join the EFG? The EFJ? How to join. Because I am a journalist. No, that's not how you join. Join the EFJ! Chat, I'm on it. Don't worry, I'm on it. No, I was talking about my Necrons. I'm going clocks on their bases. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Chat, I'm going to be in, and then I can never post on X. Elon Musk feels like the type of person to fetch the top metal list to someone's intro game. Elon Musk sounds like the type of person who said he's the best in the world at Warhammer, but he just bought all the trophies. You know? Journalists aren't as bad, simply not true. No. A lot of journalists like to flex the truth, but you know, as a journalist, I stand with them. There's a difference between bending the truth and exacerbating the truth and outright spreading propaganda, lying, being racist and misogynistic. You know? And as a journalist, you're insulting me, comparing me to something like that. That's offensive. I don't like that. As a journalist. Duck. I'm literally a journalist, okay? I am literally a journalist. Don't fucking sit there on your soapbox, alright? Don't sit there on your soapbox being like, bleh. I am literally a journalist, so... He's the top of the leaderboard in Diablo while using a class exploit to do so. Is he getting someone else to play for him as well? Isn't he get someone else to play with him right now? Or play for him, sorry? There was a little drama where Gundam there Gundam right behind me. I built Grandista Dio last night. I built my first figure. Well, it's a figure, but look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. Straight from Japan. Straight from Japan, baby. Oh yeah, isn't it sexy? Isn't it the sexiest vampire figure you've ever seen? Isn't it the sexiest vampire figure you've ever seen? I agree. I know. He's very top heavy though, so he likes to lean. So I've propped him up against my trophies. Sorry, guy. I dropped the guy. Again, that's a guy who wears yellow well. Sexy undead vampire. Wears it really well. Oh, I have abs like him. Oh, fun story. They're not actually his abs. There you go. They're actually someone else's. Now, that only makes sense to people who've watched any JoJo. Such a weeb, yeah. Yeah, I like anime, is that right? I guess I played Elon in my intro game. I was 15 years old, buying my Marine list the week before. Just all foot-sogging Marines, 9% bolters. He brought tanks I couldn't even wound. Nice. You did. You played Elon. And that's why I hate journalists now. That's why I hate journalists. I just remembered I was going to show something on stream, but I forgot again. Oh my god, my brain. My brain is so lost. What was I going to show? There was something else I saw that I forgot to bring up. Cheating. That was it. There's a little bit of drama at the World Championships. That was it. That was it, chat. So, Can You Roll a Crit, who's a Kill Team creator, you might have seen them, put out a video yesterday because they just come back from the World Championships. Okay. Now, this is specifically about Kill Team, but also some of the general event things. But I thought what happened was really bullshit. Really, really bullshit. So it happens around here. Basically, long story short, is that he was in the top 16 of Kill Team. Okay. He's in the top 16 because basically the way the World Championships work is because Mike Brandt is obsessed with like country scoring for some reason. You know, they want to turn it into they don't want to do the World Team Championships because they already do that. So what they do is they do team pod scoring. So you're not allowed to be on your own team. You have to be in the team of your country that you're representing. And you play in like a pod system. So you get put into separate pods and you play everybody in your pod. And you either win the pod or you lose the pod and you get put into different brackets afterwards. Long story short, John, I think his name is, can you roll a crit, was in the top 16 of Kill Team, or told he was in the top 16. And he was told that his position was locked in before going into the last day. So they played 6 games, and then they played 5 games or something like that. And then they played a few more games before going into the final 8. But they said, the top 16. And then after he played the game and actually ended up losing, because he didn't really think about it, he played on stream and stuff, which he said he wouldn't have if he knew it was, like, important. Then they said, actually, your places aren't locked in.
Going together. My highlight of the match was when my Anointed was hit by a Psyker. Had 6 wounds left, and he rolled. I had 2 CP left, and I was like, well, I have to do it, right? So then I looked at Jacko.
Oh, this is on stream. So round 8 was on stream, I think.
Then we get into the drama. So we were told by multiple different GW staff that the top 16 was locked in. And so we'd made it into the top 8. So when we were into the top 8, they had asked us to take photos. They'd asked us to which countries we're playing for. They took like profile pictures, so like headshots as well as group shots.
So this is for like the Wargaming community articles, where they basically took like profiles of everybody so they could talk about them on the website.
And then they clarified to us, no matter what happens, you're locked into top 8. So I was like, wow, that's actually really relieving. I wanted to make top 16. I'm now top 16. I'm now top 8. And I can't go lower than top 8. And I was into Dan. So we had the option of Gallo Dark or playing open on stream. And I was like, well, considering we're playing on open, we're locked into top 8. It's going to be on stream.
All right, Dan, don't insult him because that is something that really annoys me. I had a science teacher who did the same thing. Whenever he talks, little bit of spit on his lip. Look, we love him. He makes great content. Let's not critique him, but it is something that I notice and I can't stop looking at when I'm watching, which is why I'm looking at my phone. It's why I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah, let's just play on stream. And it was a very close game. So, well, it doesn't feel that way, but positioning-wise, I really should have looked at the map before picking. But it was interesting. My plan to hold off almost worked, but I kind of pushed up turning point 2 instead of turning point 3.
So it's established you'd be playing in the teams, or was it announced on the day? So you kind of get like an email a couple of weeks before, being like, what country are you representing? And then you are put into a team of like Team England or whatever, but not Team England for the World Championship, World Team Championships, just for this. So I was in like Group 6 England, which basically my team was. I was in Group 6, but then I was part of England. So.
But the main issue was I was in a situation where I had to move up and tank the fire, but the problem was every time I moved up, I was like, okay, I should take like some damage, but it should be okay. And then Dan would roll like 3 natural crits with Doombolt and then just kill a dude. Like my leader went down from 4 wounds down to 4, and then he did Mind Burn and rolled 4 crits. And I was like, well, that's nothing you can do about that. It was very actually close, and I could have turned it around, but I required a lot of things going together. My highlight of the match was when my Anointed was hit by a gosh, and then I rerolled it. And I rolled that into a crit, and I may have gotten a little excited because I lived up to my name. I am the one who crits. Don't doubt the brand. And then Dan used the Psyker's ability to shoot again to kill my
I'm just trying to skip forward about the game and the cap up.
I actually really needed that to happen to lock one of his Psykers on the vantage point. But unfortunately, I did manage to go 4 on the crit op, 3 on the crit op, where he got 2 on the crit op, but he managed to max the kill op and max. Then on the Sunday morning, we were waiting for pairings, and then I was like, these pairings don't seem right. I should be playing someone from the top 8 who lost their game. And we go down, and then we find out, they go like, oh, we're so sorry, top 8 was not locked in. We never should have told you top 8 was locked in. Only top 4 is locked in. So then I was actually speaking to George and some of the other players in the top 8, because it did actually change our games, because We went into the
Imagine going into a game, being like, I can ease off the gas a little bit if I need to because I'm already in the top 8. And I'm going to be making it to Sunday. And then the next day they go, oh, yeah, about that. Computer says no. Imagine. Imagine that happening in 40k. People would be kicking the shit. Because he's locked it into a 30-minute video. No one knows what's going on. They fucked him over. Imagine being in a tournament being like, yeah, you are guaranteed a prize. So you play a game. You're like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm chill now. I've done what I wanted to do. I've won a prize. And then you lose the game. You come in the next day and they're like, yeah, about that. Actually, no prizes unless you made the top 4, which you won't be now because you've lost the game. If someone said to me, like, you made it, you made the top cut, you don't need to worry anymore, I'm going to fuck about. I'm going to fucking, do shit. I'm going to make games fun. I'm going to have a laugh. I'm not going to concentrate too much because I've been told, I've been informed I made it. To then go, oh, actually, no, you're not, is actually bullshit. I would have kicked up such a fucking storm right there. That is actually bullshit, But it's about kill teams and no one cares. No one's talking about it. Yeah, fair enough. He only released this video yesterday and Mercenary sent it over. Because it's locked into a 30-minute video where the drama is. But it's like, how fucking inept... GW, how inept can you be to run a tournament? Mike Brandt organised Nova. How can you mess this up?
those games way more relaxed because we were like, well, we don't really need to try.
Exactly.
And now we were like, wow, if we lose this game, we don't finish in the top 8. So I was into the mirror when Alba Cortez, and it was actually a super close game. I had actually taken champion to offset him giving me initiative, and then I was actually in a winning position until it came down to turning point 4. He had his...
Bro, didn't even hint at any drama in the title. Rookie mistake, big time.
Left, and my chosen mounter...
Open letter to GW about the World Championships is what this video should be, and it should also be half the length.
Warrior and Icon left, and effectively what I should have done was, because I lost initiative, I should have given champion to my Icon, but unfortunately he literally rolled a crit and 2 hit, or crit and hit, and took D3 damage to get two hits and a crit, and I got... And then I went to check with the judges what's going on, like, is just to make sure we're still locked, like, locked into top 16, and they go like, okay, so not only is top 8 not locked in, but top 16 isn't locked in, so if you keep losing your games, you can drop out of the top 16. And not...
You're locked in? Oh wait, actually no one's locked in. So they said he was locked into top 8, and then they were like, oh, actually, you're only locked into top 16. And then they went, oh, actually, no, you're not locked in at all. Only top 4 are. So if you fuck this, you have fucked it. Isn't that fucking wild? That is fucking crazy.
I went to check with the judges what's going on, like, is just to make sure we're still locked, like, locked into top 16. And they go like, okay, so not only is top 8 not locked in, but top 16 isn't locked in. So if you keep losing your games, you can drop out of the top 16. And not only can you drop out of the top 16, but players from the world pool, so the people who didn't make it to top...
This is the fucking crazy bit.
Top 16 can finish above you. But if you're in the top 16, you can only play in the top 16. So you're punished for basically playing harder games.
So not only did they lie to him twice, they said you locked into the top 8, then he played a game, lost, and they went, oh, actually, you're only locked into the top 16. And then they went, oh, actually, you're not locked in unless you're in the top 4. After that, they didn't even do a proper top cut for the top 16, because usually what happens is you play games until there's a top cut, okay? You play games until there's a top cut. The top cut play more games than everyone else, but let's say it's the top 4 cut. The next person who just misses the top cut comes 5th, okay? The people who played in the top 4 play each other and work out 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, okay? But at this event, they told him he was in the top 8, locked in, then they were like, nah, and then he lost the game. And then they were like, oh, actually, you're not locked into the top 16 either, so stop losing games. And then, after that, the cheek of it all, they go, actually, even if you make the top 16, we're just doing it on points anyway. They're just doing it on points anyway. So what essentially is happening is you fight all of these hard matches and make it to top 16, and then you play all of the best people at the tournament, and someone who played good games but lost a few but then won loads afterwards places higher than you. Because they dodged all of the best players in top 16, they start playing in lower brackets and then leapfrog you. 1,000 Suns attachments out. Okay, I'll cover it in a few. I'll cover it at 12, chat. I love tournament. Hey, Pete, how you doing? I love tournament drama. I'm just sat here not following these assembly instructions while there are geopolitical level scandals going on. Yeah, literally. Literally. That's called submarining. That is literally definitively allowing submarining. Because what you could say is, I actually only want to make top 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my first game, or my last game in the pod or whatever, and go into a lower pod, play easy games because everyone else has lost, everyone else is having a more chill time because they're not in the top 16, beat all them, and then leapfrog everyone who won every single game until they played the final day. That is honestly disgusting. Why fight for top 16 when you can do slightly worse than leapfrog? If you've got a top 16, that's the top 16 places. That should be it. The highest you should be able to come after that is 17th. Because you didn't make the top 16. That is fucking crazy. Honestly crazy.
So they were like, oh, you still get somebody to finish for qualifying to the top 16, but we were like, what's the point? We actually prefer how we finish because it looks really bad and we're trapped in like different kind of games. They've messed up the pairings. Like technically, me and Dan shouldn't have played if they were like, because we didn't know we thought they were treating Saturday and Sunday as a new tournament, but they were actually continuing it. So then the pairings for round 2 on Saturday were wrong. So it was like, we were really upset, especially the people who had gone into the pools with like losses. So I was actually in an okay position because I won my pool undefeated and I was only on 1 loss. But then there was like other players who had qualified into pods with 2 losses and had just lost their last game. So now actually can't even finish in the top 16. And to be fair, it was a really bad joke. We spoke to the
It's not even a fucking bad joke. It's just fucking dog shit.
And they said in the pack, it does say only top 4 is locked in, but they should have been clearer and they shouldn't have told us that top 8 and top 16 was locked in. But then we found...
Yeah, I'm a bit like, the pack says one thing, but then if a judge tells you another, that's a judgment you get. That should have gone, actually, we fucked up, we really need to fix this. Not just being like, oh, actually, well, I know we said one thing, but the pack says another. You told him, that I was locked in. You can't just go, oh, actually, no. That is bullshit.
Every other game system was in the same boat. They were all finding out the same news as us, and everyone was really upset, especially Underworld, who was in a really bad spot. And then what also happened was like...
What happened with Underworlds?
like they were saying we have to go by the pack, but the packs were all like had errors. For example, the Underworld's pack says, if you win Underworld, you are the Age of Sigmar champion. So if we're going by the pack, does that mean the Underworld's champion is now the Underworld and Age of Sigmar champion? But
Go ahead.
Then I played into Netra, and once again it was...
That's wild. Why didn't more people stand up? Because people don't have unions, Dan. The Americans think unions are bad. That's why. Because they think unions are evil.
His leader, but it was fun. So then for the tournament overview, overall, because I was on 7 wins, 2 losses and a draw, I managed to finish 7th. So technically it was okay, but I felt bad for my friends and other players in the top 8 who didn't make it into the top 8. So like George from Canada, who was from the UK, he finished 9th, but he should have been on top 8.
George from Canada from the UK. Where's he from, bro? Make up your mind.
Then we had someone from pools finish 6th overall because obviously he'd played his hard games on The pool play didn't qualify in the pool, but then went undefeated in World's Bracket and then finished 6th.
So he made top 16, finished 7th in the end, played harder games, and then a guy who lost his first few games came 6th. Isn't that fucking crazy? Isn't that fucking wild? It's honestly so shit. I feel so bad for him. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. Literally, can't organise a piss up in a brewery. That is where they're at. They have all the infrastructure. They have thousands of staff, hundreds of staff there. They have the app that does all the pairings. They have the ranking system. And they just can't do it. I'm so lost with this story. So what's happened is I'm going to call him John. I think his name's John. I'm sorry if it's not. Okay. What happened was he's played a bunch of games. All right. They played a bunch of games. Okay. When you play a bunch of games in a tournament, there's usually a top cut, so you can work out who's going to actually win, rather than like having everybody keep playing until there's only one winner. So what they do is, after so many games, the people who are undefeated go into a top cut. Okay, they play each other however they want, whether it's just a few games knockout or anything like that. Usually top cuts are knockout, but I don't think this one was. And that decides the final rankings. Okay, can we crack out MS Paint? I don't know if I can do it with MS Paint. So like, if you make top 16 and then the top 16 are in a top cut, that's the point of having a top 16. The top 16 play, and then they work out 1 through 16, okay? No matter what happens. If you make the top cut, usually in any other tournament, and you lose every game because they're not doing knockout, or you lose the first game, that's 16th, and then 15th, then 14th, okay? So he was told he was in top 16, all right? I think he was 9th at the time, or something like that. He was in top 16, locked in, so this final game doesn't matter, okay? They've got one more game. So then he plays the game, because he's already in top 16, so he's going to be playing in that final event anyway, or the final top cut, or whatever, however they want to do it. After he played and lost, he realised the pairings were weird, because he was not playing someone in top 16, he got repaired into someone else. So then he checked with the judge, and then the judge said, even though the judge said the night before, you're in top 16, okay. Thank you, John, for the sub on Twitch, really appreciate you. Thank you for the prime, bud. Even though he said, or was told, that he was in the top 16, locked in, he's going to be playing in that bracket. The next day, he wasn't playing that bracket, so he checked with the judge and said, oh, actually, really sorry, only the top 8 are bracketed and in the top cut and locked in. The top 16 aren't. Okay. There's no reason to bracket people, the bracket doesn't matter. Also true. So then, once he was like, oh, actually, only the top 8 are locked in, he then went and lost, or he was in top 8 anyway, or something like that. Maybe he wasn't in 9th, I think he was in 7th, I think. Anyway, he was told he's locked in top 16, then he told he wasn't, so don't lose any games. He's only top 8 are locked in. After he then lost top 8, the next game, he was told that top 8 wasn't locked in, it was only top 4. And this is at the World Championships Kill Team event, okay? We're not slagging him off. We're fucking backing him. So they told him he's locked into top 16. Then they told him, actually, no, you're only locked into top 8. And then they actually said, no, only top 4's locked in. You know? So all of that, it was like being told he was in the top. So he made what he wanted. He was locked into the top. So no matter what, he was going to come top 16. And then he was, oh, actually, no, it's actually only going to be top 8. And then it was like, oh, actually, no, only top 4 are locked in. All the rest aren't. Okay? But the pack said top 4, so no one read that. If a judge tells you something, it's their job to have the right answer. You know? It's their job to have the right answer. However, after all that, after they said only the top 4 are locked in, rather than the top 8, even though they put them in a top 16 bracket afterwards for the top 16 to play, that wasn't deciding the top 16 places. Anybody could leapfrog. So the guys who were outside of the top 16, arguably playing not the best 16 players at the event because they weren't in the top cut, they were leapfrogged. So he came 7th. Someone else came 6th because they submarined and leapfrogged. That is bollocks. That is not how you run an event at all. Actually bollocks. So that's fucking brutal. I would have kicked off. I'd make an open letter video and complain. Honestly, mate, like fucking actually dog shit. But it's a 30-minute video, so people won't see it. I'm not gonna lie. I think your explanation just confused me even more. Okay, do you know the concept of a top cut? As someone who runs tourneys, how do you avoid this? I wouldn't tell people that they are in a top cut when there isn't one. It's set for 4 people. You know? I wouldn't say. I'd set the number of rounds and then say everybody plays this. I wouldn't confuse it with pods. I wouldn't confuse it with anything. Was there any prizes or anything? Yeah, so the top 16 get a golden ticket to the next event. Or an entry ticket. They don't get like flights or anything. But they get a golden ticket. And then I think last year, top 8 got like an extra prize, but they didn't do that this year. Can we just talk about Thousand Suns? Right, okay. Submarining can't happen. You know? If you have a proper top cut, submarining doesn't happen. You know? If you want to truly avoid submarining, you pair on and do the placings on win brackets, you know, so only the people who go 4-1 and only lose the last game can come second. The problem is if you lose any game, there's no point in playing in the tournament. There's like no point touching it, because if you lose the first game and you're doing it on win brackets, no matter what happens, you will always if you lose one game before the last one, you'll never be able to make the top cut. So as soon as you lose a game, you may as well drop. But what you do is do a top cut. So you go, everyone plays 5 games, okay? After that, the undefeated people make the top cut. They continue to play. Everyone else goes home or whatever. They've got their ranking. And then the people who are undefeated keep playing. They do a knockout event. So then you do a knockout event for that last bit. It's not really an event, but it's like a knockout system. So then everybody who's undefeated plays a game. And then if you lose, that's your next ranking, you know? That's just you're trying to confuse things. Always trying to reinvent the wheel for no reason. Anyway, that's that. Not going to go over it anymore because it's clearly going over people's heads. Just like, look up how top cuts work. So here we are, chat. Day 4 of the Grotmas calendar. It's time to talk about Thousand Suns, everybody. Thousand Suns are here. Day 4 time. A light dusting of dust. In today's Grotmas calendar, the Thousand Suns try to influence the battlefield in the Hex Warp Thrall Band. Here we go. That doesn't sound like cultist. Nothing goes over my head. I'm 6'9". Fair. With the arcane... Oh, I'm just going to go straight into it. I'm not going to read. But tomorrow we have Admech. Yo. I get top cuts. I just don't know how someone could submarine into a top cut. Because they did a top cut, but then didn't do the final placings with top cut. They just did the final placings on whatever. So if you go into the top cut and then lose games, people who played easier games who aren't in the top cut leapfrog you. You know? That was the problem. They said it was a top cut, but then didn't treat it like a top cut when it came to the rankings. Right, let's have a look at this bad boy. The Hex Warp Thrall Band. So just for reference, the current detachment, what you will keep and what you will lose for Thousand Suns. I've had no prior knowledge to this, so I'm going to be going through it just like you. I've just got to remember what everything does. Index, army rules. You'll keep the Cabal points, but you will lose the being able to choose lethal hit, sustained, or dev wounds on psychic weapons. So that's what you're going to be swapping this for. Are we all warmed up now, chat? Say it with me. Does it stack? Sure. Okay, they have Flow of Magic. Your deployment zone is always within your army's flow of magic. Oh, it's Necrons. It's Necrons Canoptech Core. At the start of any phase, if you control at least half the objects in no man's land, that is within your army's flow of magic. A zone of phase control at least half in your opponent's deployment zone that is within your flow of magic. Each time a Thousand Suns model from your army makes a psychic attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If such a model is wholly within your army's flow of magic, add 1 to wound instead. Oh, add 1 instead. Not add 1. Not both. Instead of. Interesting. That's definitely interesting. I think +1 to wound and rerolling ones would be crazy. Great Twitch TV, thanks for the follow. But I was just thinking flamers, bro. Flamers. You know? They would be fun. But +1 to wound with psychic weapons is really good, especially in no man's land. Are you giving up devastating wounds for it? Maybe. You can still turn off saves. Okay, let's have a look at the enhancements anyway. For a measly 20 points, chat. Measly 20. Can I do this? No. I don't think flame is psychic weapons. Are they not? No, they're not. Warp Smite is the psychic. I thought everything was psychic. Oh, okay. This is suddenly not that great. Just the Warp Smite, which only one of them can use because it's the Sorcerer. The melee weapons are psychic. Unless it's like fists. You can make bolters and combi bolts psychic. Can you? Isn't that a strat? You can use rituals to make stuff psychic. Okay. Cabal of Sorcerers. How do you make stuff psychic? Because you're not thinking of strats. Yeah, don't forget the strat is in Soulsold Infusion that make weapons, Inferno Pistols, Inferno Combi Bolters, Combi Weapons Psychic, and a Strength of 5. That's a strat you no longer have. So, no, you can't do that because you don't have those strats because you're using a different detachment. Does dropping in to say this detachment is unfortunately terrible. But at least it's cool. It seems good because you should make the bolters psychic, but that strat isn't there. Yeah, okay. Because everyone's saying it, oh, you can make them psychic, but I'm like, no, you can't. Anyway, well, let's read through. Arcane Might for a measly 20. Add 1 to the strength of characteristic of psychic weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit. So psychic weapons are going to be mostly melee weapons that are actually weapons rather than fists. So like, you know, 4 swords, 4 staffs, etc. And the psychic shooting from the aspiring sorcerers, you know. That's going to be your psychic weapons without looking at the strats. While the bearer's unit is wholly within your army's flow of magic, add 2 to the strength. Okay, so +2 strength. Fine. Makes him decent in combat. Makes him really good in combat. You can put this on a Terminator Sorcerer or something that'll attach to Scarabs. And then they will have like Strength 7 -2 damage weapons in the flow of magic. Oh no, that's not psychic! Never mind, it's just the force weapon. It's just the leader of the squad, which would be Strength 8 -1d3 damage. Oh god. Empowered Manifestation. Have we found the first bad one? Empowered Manifestation for another 20 points. Everything Magnus does is psychic, I think. Range weapons, Zinch's Firestorm and Gaze of Magnus are both psychic, yeah. So it buffs Magnus great. It's psychic powers, really. Psychic powers and force weapons. Not a lot otherwise. Okay. While the bearer's unit is wholly within your army's flow of magic, add 6 to the range of psychic abilities the bearer has that specified a range, including rituals. That's decent. And each time while the bearer unit take a hazardous test, you can re-roll the result. That's not so bad, I don't think. I don't think that's bad. Magnus always gives +1 to wound within 6. Rubrics have reroll wounds built in. There's not even psychic bolters. There's just nothing that makes this any good. Not a good sign, bro. Not a good sign at all. 25 points. We can get 25 points. While the bearer's unit is wholly within your army's flow of magic, add 3 to the characteristic of ranged psychic weapons equipped by the bearer exclusively. So that's going to be on exclusive the characters. Demon Prince, does he have a psychic weapon? Hellforged weapon is psychic. Not bad. Makes him 9 attacks instead of 6. Or 17 attacks. What about his ranged weapons? Doesn't have a psychic weapon. Let's have a look at a Exalted Sorcerer. Force weapon, 8 attacks, strength 6 -1 D3 damage. And then Arcane Fire, D6 +3, strength 6 -2 D3 damage. That's decent. That's decent on a sorcerer. Oh yeah, range weapon, so it is only that one. Only Arcane Fire, sorry. God damn. Noctilith Mantle, 15 points. Here we go. Come on. Did you, do you like everyone else think the strat would make this good, forgetting to give them the strat? Yeah. While the bearer's unit is on the battlefield, it is wholly within your army's flow of magic. Models in that unit cannot be selected to use any rituals. Let's look at the strats. Let's look at the strats, chat. Okay. Warding Hex. 1 CP. 1,000 psychic unit from your army within range of an objective marker you control if that objective marker is wholly within your army's flow of magic. Sticky. Okay, great. Sticky objectives. If it's in flow. Which it probably is because you have to hold it. Okay, not fine. Sticky objectives, good. Wrath of the Doomed. Fight phase. Just having a unit selected its targets. You select 1,000 such units that was selected as a target. Until the end of the phase, each time one of your unit is destroyed, if that model's not for fight on death, on a 3+. Why have they got a fight on death? I mean, it's fine if Magnus is about to go and you know what, I'm like, I'm going to stab before I go out. But if Magnus is in combat, you've probably lost. You know? Yeah, the detachment rule, or how the detachment rule works, is the same as the Canoptech Court for Necrons. Because they have the Canoptech control or whatever. Canoptech Shadow. Yeah, like demons. Why do Thousand Suns have fight on death? On a 3+. I mean, yeah, it's pretty funny. But again, yeah, like, if Magnus is about to go, that's an insanely good stratagem, but you probably already lost at that point. Strands of Time. Your movement phase just after the Thousand Suns unit has fallen back. Until the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot or declare a charge in a turn which it fell back. If your unit is wholly within the foe's magic when it is targeted with the stratagem, then until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn which it fell back. This is really one of them that people forget about a week after the codex comes out, innit? This is really one of them that people forget about when the codex comes out. You're like, you know what? There's oh my god, there's so many cool stratagems. Did you see the hex band one? And then a week later, people are like, oh yeah, we don't use that one. We just don't actually use that one, literally ever. Literally ever. Anyway, where were we? Through the Veil. Pierce the Veil. Start the reinforcement step in your movement phase. 1 rubric or scarab unit in reserve. If it's rubric marine, until the end of the phase, it has the deep strike ability. When your unit is set up on the battlefield using the deep strike ability, if it is scarab occult terminator unit, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield. It's wholly within your army's flow of magic and more than 6 inches away. Okay. Not a bad strat. Not a bad strat, to be fair. Surprised it's not 3 inches, but there we go. Because all of them are 3 inches usually. But that's fine. You know, you can deep strike it. You can get a 6-inch charge off. It's fun. Oh, wait. If it's a Scarab Occult Tony you attack with the stratagem, it's not eligible to charge in the same turn. Oh, God. This isn't worth the fucking PDF it's written on. What is going on? Why is this so bad? Why is this so bad, bro? This is so shit. Thousand Suns really do be suffering from last year. Or the last year. This is the bounty in a celebrations calendar. And I normally love bounty. I normally love a good bounty. You know, it's refreshing. This is bad because the design guys don't play T-Suns. I think this is bad because they're worried about T-Suns being cracked again. And remember, units on the board don't generate Cabal points. They don't fucking generate anything when they can't charge. Come on, Scouring Warp Flame, save the detachment. Your shooting phase. Choose a Thousand Suns Psychic unit that has not been selected to shoot. Until the end of the phase, range weapons and ignore cover ability. After units... Fuck off, this detachment is shit, bro. This is so bad. What were they smoking? What were they smoking? Oh my god, this is awful. It does nothing. It has nothing. Nothing happens. You turn up and your opponent goes, "Are you using that detachment? Do you have any stratagems or do you just have command reroll?" Oh, you might use sticky ones. Nice. What was the other one? That fall back and charge. All right, nice. 1 CB. Oh my lord. This is awful. This is what you want from the fucking everyday rules though. Because I never have to think about this detachment ever again. I never have to think about this detachment ever again because it is awful. It is bad. Like, I was worried about bloat. If they keep this up, this is great. I'll read these detachments. We'll have some goose and gas, and then that'll be it. Never again. Back to the index you go. The Ian Beale detachment, I've got nothing left. Ian Hexabeale. Oh, bro. Mikey slowly putting his Zangors back into storage. Literally, I was like, oh, I can get all my Zangors out today because it'll be a dumb Zangor detachment. But no. Is it just me, or is this an attempt at original Death Guard detachment? If you said all this was Death Guard and said all psychic weapons were plague weapons, suddenly interesting. Man can play about Blade when 99% of detachments are unused. Yeah, literally, because they're like this. You know where to download the Spearhead rules? In the Age Sigmar section, right? They're in the Age Sigmar section somewhere. This is awful, dude. Honestly, so bad. Pete the Wargamer. I missed your thoughts on the Tony one yesterday. Any good? Like the idea of a warrior heavy army. I think the Tony one's really interesting. I don't think it's like, I mean, it's not like super cracked, which is nice. I think it's like really fun. I wrote a list with it. I think you probably want like 3 to 4 max units of warriors, if not a few more. But I think that one's like a really, it obviously makes warriors really good. but it's actually really good as like a well-balanced detachment because of the shooting stratagem to give extra strength. That's really strong. And that just makes loads of units suddenly really interesting. So I think if there's a balanced data slate coming out soon, maybe with like new points for Tyranids, because I think they are still a little bit overcosted in some regards. That'd be like super, like that detachment. Suddenly you're like, actually, that's really worth considering. It's actually pretty decent, you know. What does the last enhancement actually do? The last enhancement, the Noctilith Mantle, stops you using rituals, which is obviously really shit, but it gives you this. You know, the +1 to wound and shoot with psychic attacks. And it lets you use the better version of all the strats. You know? So what models is this detachment actually trying to sell you? Every army in the game. That isn't a 1,000 Sun one. This is what happens when you have a cracked index detachment. Yeah, these are definitely written recently. You know, recently where they know the meta, rather than being like wrote like a year ago and they have no idea what's going on. But we've seen similar stratagems as well. Like, you know, we've seen ignore cover. What was this one? Gain the stealth. Yeah, just fucking shit. We've seen a few anyway. Yeah, the ignore cover one. I didn't even read Kaleidoscope Tempest. I was confused. I was like, what's this one? Do you know what, chat? It was that bad I missed the stratagem. Kaleidoscopic Tempest. Your approach shooting phase, if they target a 1,000 Psyker, you gain stealth. If you're in flow magic, you gain cover. That's a decent stratagem. I agree, a Zangor detachment would have been nicer. Imagine you got a Zangor detachment. They gave them all like advanced charge, advanced shoot. Yeah, I forgot the last strat because I was so done with how bad these are. It's awful. This is awful. This will never see the table except for a joke. Or because someone's bored of playing their index and it's crap. Fucking hell. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I didn't think it was going to be awful. I'm surprised it's not a Zangor detachment, though. You know? I'm really surprised it's not a Zangor detachment because I thought that'd be funny. I thought that'd be really funny. But no. Well, that was worth the wait. Was it? Was it worth the wait? It's just not worth the paper it's wrote on. It's not even wrote on any paper. You know, that's how bad it is. It's not worth the paper it's wrote on, and it's fucking digital. Anyway, let's look at the article. Here we go. Let's drag it out for 5 more minutes, chat, because nothing else is happening. Just what the Titans data sheet. Yeah, we went over it earlier. If you want to rewind, if you fancy it, one of the first stories we covered. The Empiric Ritualists who lead the Thrall bands wield magic without restraint. They seek to shatter the veil. I'm lost now. Between warp and reality. Empowering their arcane arts and unleashing demonic energies upon their weak-minded foes. Literally the incel of Warhammer. Maybe the incels of Warhammer, bro. You know? That's it. That's all they are. As the tide of arcane energy builds in strength, the battlefield comes alive with mutagenic energy, enhancing the sorcerer's magical power and hailing their thralls in the fulminating corona of uncontrolled arcane force. When 1,000 Suns models of the army make psychic attacks, they can reroll wounds of 1 if they're within a part of the battlefield that they control. They swell with the warp and instead add 1 to wound for their psychic attacks. They can't even make it sound fun, can they? With the Arcane Might enhancement, characters can draw upon the rampant warp energies to add 1 to strength of psychic weapons equipped by the bearer's unit. While the bearer's wholly within the army's full of magic, add 2 to the strength. With arcane energy flooded the battlefield, the veil between warp and reality rapidly collapses. That does sound cool. It just doesn't transfer. Doesn't transfer over to actually being interesting. From yawning rifts, me reading the fucking rules. Me reading the fucking rules, bro. Rubrics can arrive from strategic reserve as it fit at the deep strike rule. And Scarab Cult can take advantage of the disruption to deploy from deep strike up from 6 inches from the enemy if they deployed wholly within the hours of the flow of magic. Ah, that'd be so good if you could charge afterwards, the 6 inches. That'd be like insanely strong. To a point where you'd like go, I'm going to run 3 and it's a Scarab Cult. But because you can't charge, it's literally pointless. What do you get? You can already rapid fire within 9. What do you get by deep striking 6 away? Maybe I can land an objective? Great. That's interior sorted for Grossmus. But what about the lights? The Adeptus Mechanicus are seen to the electronics tomorrow. So we have AdMech tomorrow. Right. AdMech predictions right now. I'm going to put out there, it's going to be something about Castellan robots. Because once again, they are shit. They are bad. Castellans and onagers, yeah, literally. Anything that's on robotic legs, there's not a chicken walk, because chicken walkers are decent. Admech discount Tavis is my guess. There's a robot attachment, it's just bad. Also very true. Maybe a better one. Maybe like Robot Detachment 2. Castellans, but there's half your army, yeah. Castellans get +1 toughness, +2 wounds, +1 strength, +1 attack, +1 ballistic skill. But any other unit halves its movement. Because their cybernetic connections are all focused on the Castellan robots. Everything else, half movement. That'd be so funny, actually. That'd be such a funny detachment. I'd definitely run that one. For +1 toughness, +1 wound, +1 attack, +1 ballistic skill, no one else could fucking move because they're all locked in. They're all locked in on League of Legends. They're all like locked in, power in. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get there. Let's go. Let's go. Get there. Go and drive. It's so bad, bro. It's that one is awful. I can't believe how bad it is. Like the other 3 so far, we're only on day 4. You know, we're almost a 5th of the way through now. Tomorrow will be the 5th because I think they're doing 25. We're only on day 4, but the first 3, even if you kind of go, you know, you can kind of look at them and go, another detachment is just better. The thing is with it is they all have like play, right? Every detachment that they've released so far by the Thousand Sun, you can kind of go, well, you know, if I lean this way, that could be really interesting. Like the Determinator one for Blight Lords, the first one, right? Blight Lords aren't a great unit, but with that detachment, they're a little bit interesting. And you can kind of go, well, you know, if I can scout, I can go first. You know, I was chatting to Des, and we were like, if you take a Rhino, okay, and put a Malignant Plaguecaster in it, and then have a unit of 10 rubrics next to it, if you go first, you can scout them 5 inches. If you go second, you can scout them into the Rhino, you know? And because they started on the board, then scouted into the Rhino, suddenly they have stealth as well. Because it says any units that aren't deployed in a transport gain stealth and scout. So you deploy them on the board. If you go second, scout them into a Rhino, they still have stealth, and now they're in a Rhino. So you kind of get like the best of both worlds. That's a little bit interesting. Is it the best way to run the army? Don't know. Never tried it. But it's interesting. It's something to try, you know? Whereas the Dark Angel one, you know, Gladius is really strong, you know? You know, Gladius is really strong, but the Lion's Blade detachment, if you take a couple of Ravenwing units, like the odd Outrider, not odd Outrider, sorry, the odd ATV, maybe a Chaplain on bike, suddenly you can utilize that detachment for a very small tax to make that detachment work, you know? The Tyranid one. You can spam warriors. You can take 72 warriors if you really want to. Very funny, okay? You can also take like 30-odd warriors, take some decent shooting units like Exocrines and Tyrannofexers, use the +2 strength strat, and you've got some warriors that are really tanky, that are really good at controlling the board, they're really survivable. They can do the board control while the other stuff shoots and you make the shooting better. Very interesting. This one, nothing. Nothing in that to me says, you know what? I'm going to give up all the strats that Thousand Sons have. You know? Nothing in that detachment that we've just looked at makes me go, you know what? I could try this and this will work. Because it just plays better. Run it as the other one. Like, and there's like not even like oh, maybe I could try these units out. You know? There's nothing in there that goes, yeah, if you take this unit, that's a bit interesting. Like Angron says, rubrics already have reroll wounds. Rubrics on their datasheet. You know? Let me go back. Rubric Marines have Bringers of Change. Each time all unit makes a ranged attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If it's within range of an objective marker you control, or you do not control, you can reroll the wound rolls. That's really good. But that basically means unless you're in the flow of magic, unless you're holding half the objectives, that detachment does nothing for, like, your core unit. Yeah, you get +1 to wound if it's in the flow of magic, and you're re-rolling ones. That's pretty fun. But it's only on psychic weapons. It's only on psychic weapons. Right? Am I cracked? Am I high? Just to confirm. Yeah. It's only psychic attacks. So this is the rubric rule, but all weapons. You get +1 to wound only on like 2 of the 1 weapon in the unit. And it's the fucking Warp Smite at 2 shots with dev wounds. All right, that is good, but it is only 1 damage. If you had the strat in Soul Soul Infusion, like you do in the current index, suddenly this is really good. But you don't. You don't. So every unit, unless you've got a character attached, benefits for 1 weapon. It's the Warp Smite in your rubrics, and it's the Force weapon on the Aspiring Sorcerer. The Force weapon. In your Scarab Occult, it is 1 range weapon, and it is the Warp Smite, which is 3 shots, you know? And then the melee weapon is the Force Staff on the Sorcerer. Your characters actually have a great time, okay? Araben has Psychic Stalk, 1 shot. Okay, cool. With precision at D6 damage. Pretty funny when you get +1 to wound. He has the Black Staff, which is Psychic, which is pretty funny. But it's only characters. It's only really... You're only really benefiting for your characters. And if you're taking that many characters, you may as well take the other detachment and use the Cabal and then have better strats. Did it warrant the last word instead? I don't think so. If it was all weapons, yeah. You know? If it was all attacks, or all ranged attacks, yeah. Maybe. But it's only psychic weapons. I don't think it needs the instead. +1 to wound and re-rolling ones would make all of those little psychic pocket weapons pretty fun. But it's just so limited. It just doesn't do anything. It's just like not worth looking at. I'm not interested. It's bad. It's really bad. As I said, nothing in there makes me go, you know what, I really want that. It really makes me feel like they forgot Warp Flamers aren't psychic. I don't think they forgot. I don't think this is an accident. But I think they've tried to done it because Thousand Sons are really good right now. They don't want to make a cracked detachment. If they went all weapons, or every weapon they have is psychic and everything gets it, it'd be cracked. But yeah, it's just like... I'm just not interested. It's crap. It's just crap. Which is fine. They weren't always going to be all good. The other three have been very interesting. They've added a lot of flavour, but the Thousand Suns one, they just continued using the index. And they don't have a codex yet, which is actually beneficial because the first three all have codexes. So it's in addition to what you already have. Thousand Suns only have the one detachment right now, so now they have two. So at least people are playing a lot more casually, can try that one out and be like, my little pocket psychic weapons are pretty funny, you know? But that's it. Death card don't have yeah, true. Death card don't have codex. My apologies. So the two previously, they both got codexes. Could have been Codex Zangors. It could have been a Zangor index. It could have been a Zangor index, chat. You were all robbed. I've always loved the Zanglor. As I said in chat in Parasocial this morning, I've always loved the Zanglor. Yeah, my apologies. Death card don't have a codex. I mean, silly. But the previous two have codexes, and they're like, in addition, they're like interesting and look cool. But you have so many options. Whereas this is like, this is just shit, so you just don't have any more options. You know? Isn't this why people can make suggestions since they aren't match play only till New Year? What? Isn't this why people can make suggestions since they aren't match plays only till New Year? This isn't a fucking public debate. They're not being like, hey, what do you think to this? They're saying, hey, here you go. Enjoy. They're not saying, please give us feedback. They're not legal till Jan. Why? They're published on the site. Why aren't they legal? Am I like smoking or something? I don't know what that's what they said. That doesn't make any sense, I guess. Not what you're saying. Why wouldn't it be illegal now? What difference does it make 1st of January or now? Because they've got access to it. I guess they're trying to say I guess they're trying to say, yo, we don't want to like confuse all the tournaments by adding loads of attachments every day. So don't use them, I guess, but they just aren't out until Jan. Perfectly legal now. Out on the app. Okay, so they're getting added to the app in January. That makes sense. I don't think that makes them illegal, but yeah, like, let's be honest. Not many people have tournaments lined up in December, you know? But yeah, I'd say if you are playing a tournament and they've like open rules, then I'd probably ask if you can use them because they are being published every day. There's like no reason not to allow them, in my opinion. But I'd be like a cutoff, you know? Like normal, you know, like a week cutoff. Thoughts on the Dark Angel attachment? Fourth try, and I still can't make a Dark Angel attachment better than Gladius for Dark Angels. I think it needs testing. I think it's interesting. Again, I like just putting in like maybe like 3 individual ATVs. Because I think you can take individual ATVs still. I think that's fun. That can be a good way to use the Raven Wing aspect. On paper, Gladius will always look better because you haven't tried the new one. How many points is 3 ATVs? 180 points for 3 Raven Wing models that move 12. OT2 with a half decent weapon, little attack bikes. Maybe a chaplain on bike if you want one. If you're running Super Duper All Stars Christmas Showdown on 24th of December, would you allow them? I'd use the usual cutoff, you know? I'd use my normal cutoff. If I was running on the 24th of December, I think it'd be, if I remember the dates, probably like 2 weeks before. So it'd be like the 10th would be the last one. So there'd be still another 6 detachments to play with. So, why not? You know what I mean? What difference does it make if they say they're illegal now or the 1st of January? It doesn't really make a difference. It's only the same as like a balanced data slate coming out, right? I'd still use that. But that balanced data slate I would use no matter what. They're all out by 24th. They're releasing 2 some days. Interesting. I presume that's a guess because I haven't seen anything about it. But yeah, they said they're releasing loads, but it's only for 25 days. So I don't know. Acknowledged and now ignored. What does that mean? I don't know if anyone's mentioned, but I wonder if in the data slate, Thousand Suns Bolters will get the psychic keyword. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But it could happen. It could definitely happen. That's for sure. They did say on Walk On there'll be more than 1 per day. I hope they get released at the same time. I hope I'm not like 1 at 12 and 1 at 5. That'd be so shit. Put Mercenary Q on blast. He said the detachment is strong as fuck. Is he high? Job hunting's gone to his head. That's all I'll say. If that's what he said. Where does he say it's good? In the Discord? The Thousand Suns one is strong as fuck. Is this guy... Mercenary Q's not watching the stream. And he's talking bollocks. He smoked some dust. I digested it. It's okay. Yeah, back. Sit down. Sit down, mercenary. It's so bad. It's so bad. He's gone too far into the flow. He's in the flow of magic. He's clearly trapped in the source of magic. He's clearly in the source. He's lost his way. We love a backtrack. That was less than an hour to backtrack. The reactionary in him was like, wow, that's so strong. Wow, bro, that's so good. And then like 40 minutes later, he's like, you know what? I'm out. I've read it now. I'm so out. Fucking hell. It's an organized anti-PR against Vallejo by GW. Bro, this website's full of Nazis. Full of cracked Nazis. That's all it is. God. Where's Blue Sky? Let me have a look at Blue Sky. Paid up by GW. Look at all these nice people retweeting, adding to the source, you know. Twitter. Someone calling out fucking... This exchange is funny. I'd also think pretty grand if big name hobbyist painters who showcase a lot of Vallejo products and make products with Vallejo made some sort of statement. It's a terrible time to launch a product. Don't people have only visited Vallejo patches or heard anything about this before the launch, but being quiet since then ain't sure ain't good luck. Which I agree with. Big yikes. I do wonder about that, chat, you know. Not to call anyone out in particular. Not to call out anyone in particular, but there's certain products that are coming out, and there's certain channels that work with certain companies, and I'd be very interested if they continue supporting and what the reaction to that would be like. You know, obviously it's disappointing for them personally. Like, think about the workers, more importantly. But obviously, as a brand, if I was working with a brand and then I brought out a product and then like 2 weeks later the company was striking, that puts me in a really shit position. But I wonder if there'll be like public comments or just like quiet for now. I'll come and say things. I'm just a plebeian in chat. I just mean certain YouTubers and stuff. You know? Certain tubers. Hey, anyway, chat. Any word from Juan Hidalgo? Didn't he help an entire Vallejo line? I don't think he said anything now. But again, it's the... Not saying anything shit, but it's... The main thing is not promoting right now. I think there's a difference. Like, staying silent is a bit pooey, but it's not deplorable. You know? So you need to watch our video on it. Please do. Just watch the first couple of minutes, you know? Have they deleted his Twitter? I think he's deleted his Twitter, you know? Unless he's just not got a space. JH Miniatures, that's why. No, he's not said anything. As I said, I think there's a big difference in not saying anything or I'll just say there's a big difference in not saying anything compared to ignoring the strikes and still promoting, you know? If they stop promoting, that's better than nothing, you know? That's what I'm going to say. That's what I was trying to say. It's better than nothing. Obviously, realistically, you want people to stick up for the workers because they're the people who make the stuff you buy. That's what you're looking for. But I think the main thing is don't actively fucking promote. So we'll see. Keep an eye on your content creators, and if you don't like what they're doing, tell them. Because they'll only learn by telling them, you know? By saying something. So, anyway, chat. That's about it from me today. I'm going to get off my soapbox now, if that's cool. I'm going to get off my soapbox, so you can all stop crying at me, complaining, you know. But I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for hanging out. I'm going to be live again tomorrow around 12. I'm going to redirect you via YouTube to Kirioth TV because they're not streaming for like 6 hours or whatever. New detachment released. What? Another one? What? Excuse me? Are you fucking pulling my leg, bro? What are you talking about? Fucking dick. I'm going. I'll be back tomorrow at 12. Detnal's banned. I'm going to redirect you to Kirioth because they're doing a charity stream later for the Jingle Jammer. The Jingle Jam. But also, I'm live every single day. I'm live every single day, including Saturday, where we'll be playing the Jingle Jammer. Dear, I got him. We'll be playing the Jingle Jammer Battle Report. The last Battle Report, probably for a long time. So if you can tune into that on Saturday, that'd be really cool. Around 6 or 7, I'll put a full stream up. But we're playing the Jingle Jammer, where every time you donate to charity, you affect our game. And if you donate enough, you'll unlock some free Steam games, which is really cool. So that's happening this weekend. But otherwise, I'll be live tomorrow around 12, talking about the newest attachment for AdMech, and probably laughing for half an hour. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to raid someone else. I don't know how to raid on here yet, though. Raid channel. How do you raid? Hello. Hello, channel. We'll drop We'll drop him on a channel that I've never watched before because I don't know any of these channels. We'll raid Honest Wargamer with my... There we go. Enjoy, my friends. Go there. Go say hi. Go say hello. Goodbye, everyone. Love you. Bye. 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 Bye.